Print.
Do a quick display of graphics here and then start our broadcast, our ceremony. We have our Statue of Liberty and now our group of statues of liberties from all the different places on Earth, and implying the stargates on all of these, and we have our New Millennial Golden Rule, and then we have our graphic of our independence, our interdependence, and Risen Roosevelt Boulevard, great virtuous gathering place with all of your pictures and all our great and grandmother's pictures, and that's what's on the screen right now. And I'll start with our usual recording that we always hear to begin the broadcast. Just bear with me just a moment while it comes up. Won't take long. And I do want to say that I have come to the conclusion that most of you are mind programmed in the same way, in a sense, like the Manchurian Candidate was mind programmed, if you ever saw that film. And although you're not aggressive in the same way as the Manchurian Candidate was, or if you watch the movie Airplane, the O.J. Simpson character was, I don't believe that you are that. I believe that you are very disempowered in the manner of protecting one another and yourselves and our world. And what you are mainly doing is deferring to older men and allowing older men and a few token women who seem comfortable with that arrangement to make decisions for you, which really are not, the outcomes of their decisions have clearly not been very good at all. So let's fix that, and let's make sure we get our tape played here for a moment, our recording. Here we are.
And then she said she couldn't do the name for everybody. Did you come to that? That's when she came back and started to tell me with the Global Center. Her whole love was to have her children there. She did it. But Tony so happy just to get along with nothing. She was careful, very careful. And there was a sister quarrel.
Now, I am going to kind of do a faster version of the ceremony today because I said I don't want to delay you. I don't enjoy getting emails to you later than I usually do. Sometimes that happens when the broadcast overruns my usual time frame that I prefer to do it with. So I'm going to do it very quickly. I'm going to speak quickly. You've heard this a lot before, and I don't feel that you need to have the most elegant version every day. But we'll go back to that. And ELLEGANT, you'll be co-broadcasting with me and with Anne-Marie, and with Anne-Marie did co-broadcast with me briefly yesterday. And I should mention there is a message, a new message from her on 2345-2345. You can hear a message from Anne-Marie and I on 2345-2345 from yesterday. Okay, and so now let's do our ceremony. Again, I'm warning you that every day you don't cooperate with this, your children and yourselves, women, are endangered. I am endangered. Everybody is endangered. Our incarnations and our identities as world saviors are endangered, and the world is endangered, therefore. So let's fix this. And here we have our ceremony. The light is on in all our hearts. We have with us marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers in water. Hugs and love to all, both and each and every one, as soon as possible. Let's do it this way. The light is on in all our hearts. We have with us marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers. Look how marvelous, miraculous they are. In water, hugs and love to all, both and each and every one, as soon as possible, now and as soon as possible. And we'll say, Namaste, Mikatuye Oyasin, Mitukuya Ko Several, Kongs on Pax. Pax culture, peace culture. Bahaba l'chaim, shalom, shalom, salam, salam, shalom, mir pache, pache mir, merci, ciao, ubuntu, buenos dias, shlandavag, chinque, chap chap, sayonara, das vidanya. Did I say to your best? Said lyric to your best. Let's put that right up at the beginning. And cheerio and good day, cheerio. And if I've forgotten any languages, you include them as equinox true cues, marvelously, miraculously, ever growing, ever gardening, budding and blooming, marvelous and miraculous, equinox true cues, co-secretary generals, co-SZPECIALL. And then we'll say, let's drink the milk of loving kindness, of human loving kindness, of divine kindness within us. To err is human. To fix the error and to ask for forgiveness is divine. And to forgive is divine. So let's forgive ourselves. Let's admit we've made errors. Let's fix it. The big error. The biggest error is patriarchy. Let's fix it. Parity is the way to fix patriarchy. So let's fix it. And we have our milk of human kindness. Let's drink on behalf of all, both and each and every one. Especially focusing on the 2 to 3 years on cue breastfeeding of every holy baby girl, holy baby boy of our family, your family, all the holy baby girls, all the holy baby boys of our family, your family, every family. It's all one family. We're all related. And let's say also the milk of human kindness throughout our lives, past, present, future, as growing ever young and yet ever more wise. Co-secretary generals, co-SZPECIALL, ever more kind and ever more wise. Co-secretary generals, solar, budding and blooming, marvelously, miraculously, growing and gardening, Co-Secretary General, Co-SZPECIALL. I drink on behalf of all those and each and everyone, representing all those and each and everyone as soon as possible. Now and as soon as possible. Delicious. And now we'll have the special Purim and Passover elixirs of Earthsz and Eastersz, and also the Ayastra fruit juices and the Eastersz sacramental wines. We'll put them together also with the Soma of the Vedic egalitarian ceremonies of India, and the Entheons of the Eleusinian mysteries, and also the cocoa and other chocolate and other sacramental drinks of different cultures. We'll put them all together and we'll drink, but none of these are more important than the milk, the loving kindness milk of human kindness, the mother's milk that starts us out and is important throughout our lives. So let's drink on behalf of all, both and each and everyone. We represent all, both and each and everyone now and as soon as possible as equinox true cues, budding, blooming, marvelously, miraculously, growing and gardening, Co-Secretary General's Co-SZPECIALL. I drink on behalf of all, both and each and everyone, representing all, both and each and everyone. Now as soon as possible. Very delicious, very delicious. And now we'll have our water of loving, living planets that will reclaim and sustain our planet Earth and all our Earths to be, past, present, future, as equinox true cues, solar, Co-Secretary General, Co-SZPECIALL. You see the solar orbs here, all the circle, shining stars of yin and yang in balance, and that's you. You have the stars stuff within you. You are photosynthesis, and you as are the budding, blooming flowers and the flora of our world, and the fauna also. You are, of course, that. And we are all interwoven together in this marvelous, miraculous web of the tree of love and life and light in our universe. We drink on behalf of all, both and each and everyone, representing all, both and each and everyone as soon as possible, now and as soon as possible. That's very delicious too. Don't take that for granted. Okay, and now we have our cakes. We'll celebrate and re-celebrate all our birthdays, conception days, name days and holy days, past, present, future, as equinox true cues, Co-Secretary General, Co-SZPECIALL. We start with our Shekinahs, past, present, and future, all of them. And then we also especially include our young Shekinahs and young Hekinahs to start fresh with an egalitarian culture in their young adulthood, not having to wait to have to undo all kinds of errors that all of us are having to do in this generation. Let's let them start more fresh. And we start with our equinox, a vernal and autumnal equinox dates, because we want to emphasize the EQ that is missing in our culture, equality and empathy, missing in North American culture. And we also, however, want to connect it to our solar arc also that we are in right now, and make it all overlapping, all one circle. Turn back time and have this all together throughout all our seasons. Spring equinox as springs in all our seasons, as equinox true cues, Co-Secretary General, Co-SZPECIALL, solar, and marvelous, miraculously budding and blooming. And here's, again, we'll celebrate and re-celebrate our birthdays, conception days, name days, and holy days, past, present, future, as equinox true cues, solar, budding, blooming, marvelous, miraculous, Co-Secretary General, Co-SZPECIALL. All right, and that's done that part. We've accomplished that part of our ceremony. Then we also want to, of course, hold up our Purim and Passover, which is also the Last Supper wafer, but reminding you that these are just promise holidays. These are promises of an immature humanity. Why were they immature? Because somehow they lost the wisdom of Atlantis. Atlantis thrived for 3,000 years in peace. It was egalitarian. The women co-ruled. They lived in harmony with nature and they worshiped nature. Why did that get lost? The Bronze Age became the Iron Age. Weaponry became more involved and intense, and women probably got swept up and in many cases raped and killed in our primitive stage. Are we going to allow that again? We are allowing that again. It's occurring all over the Middle East. Why are we allowing that? Because the American women don't know how to stand up. That's why it's occurring. So let's stand up. Make the circle instead of the triangulated hat. We have the circle of parity. Anoint one another, Co-Secretary General, Co-SZPECIALL, as if you were there at the time of Vashti and Esther and her mother, whose name we say is Mariam, and her daughters, I found out the names, Radisha and Dareya, and there's others, Sister Kazinas and other women of that time, very important. And also, we connect that to the Passover Holy Day. They're not disconnected, they're connected, and that will help us raise up the Passover from just being a promise of a promised land to the fulfillment of a promised land everywhere, and throughout our earth and Earthsz, and also not a Last Supper, but a first, all meals, first go first every time that we get together for enjoying the fruits and the vegetables and all the delightful foodstuffs of Mother Nature. So we'll become risen, and then instead of just promised holidays, we'll have fulfilled holy days every day. Every day. And so we have our round bread to symbolize our risen females of Atlantis risen, Stargates Atlantis risen, and our risen males of Stargates Atlantis risen are the oval bread. Okay? Challah, whatever you want to call them, Middle Eastern round bread, whatever you want to call them, we integrate the cultures, bring them together, and that becomes risen. And then we have our eggs of egalitarian culture, and we'll do that very quickly. Start with 1, always call the circle, you can do it. Bring 2, how about Anne-Marie and I? Briefly, yesterday we broadcast together. You can hear it on YouTube and Google, and you can listen to Anne-Marie and I together on 2345, 2345. And then we have the 3, that makes a circle that grounds the goddess in all of us, on the ground. And then bring forth more 3 to 11 women, anoint one another, co-anoint one another as equinox trucus, co-secretary generals, co-secretaries without nationalistic boundaries. You are co-leaders of local, global, universal sacred grounds everywhere. Sacred air, sacred grounds, all sacred. And sacred waters, everything is sacred, okay? And then we bring forward at least 3 or 4 young women, age 37 and younger, and 3 or 4 young men, age 37 and younger, anoint them all, co-anoint one another. When we do that, we are equinox trucus, co-secretary generals, co-secretaries, we can open up the stargates. You do that together with me here, we'll open up the stargates. If we do it on the ground, we'll open up the stargates. Then we have a reminder that whenever that means two women get together, that they treat each other with greater kindness and respect, both. They don't dismiss each other, they don't put men in front of each other, they don't say, oh honey, don't interrupt him. You know, they don't do that kind of game. And they listen to each other and they learn from one another instead of ignoring, like you've been ignoring me, okay? And me and Anne-Marie, and I'm not Patricia. You've been ignoring us for a long time, ignoring each other. Stop that, okay? Then we have our egalitarian sisterhood, sister cousinhood, and cousin brotherhood. We don't accept the put downs of men, the ignoring of men, the I'm first and I know better than you of too many men. And women begin to respect their own gifts and their important gifts that they have to teach lessons to men with, okay? And then we have improved there, and we also have an improved egalitarian marriage for all people, all our young people. Let's start out with that, balance of love and work, better for raising children, better for binding families together in communities, okay? And then we have our egalitarian men, no false hierarchy based on ethnicity or race or nationality or income level or birth order, all the nonsense that men put each other through and wind up killing each other for nothing for. Okay, and then we remember that each one of us has the yin-yang balance within, and we all have the egg within us. We all have the X chromosome, both women and men, and they're all very important. The women are very, very important in gathering together as a circle, and the men provide an energy to bring forth this shift, okay? Very, very necessary, okay? And we're necessary to one another, of course, throughout our lives. And then we have our consciousness currencies. Oh, and I neglected to say, of course, when we show the breads and the cakes, we also have additional grains with the rice and our oats, of course. We thank Mother Goddess God for all of the foodstuffs of our planet. We're not going to adulterate them and ruin them, okay? We can share them. There's plenty to go around. There needs no starvation. We know that organic and permaculture are doing very, very well all over the planet. Okay. And we have our consciousness currencies. We start with our Morellian, our Winnerian, our Morellian, and Adelian, Margilian, Silver Golden Kindian, Zalkindian, Feldmarian, Goldbergian, Kabbalian, Malarian, Newcomerian, Hurston, Herzogian, Sweet, Sagan, Yancey Slate, Lee Winfrey, and many, many more, Brannick Skakel, Hannah Fitzgerald, Kennedy Shriver, all of the various names that we want to intertwine, Chan, Zhang, all of them, okay? Different names, and of course, Kapadian Gandhi. Kapadian Gandhi, let me not leave that one. I'm going to start with that one very early on. I've been leaving that out, and I don't want to. I don't know why I leave that out. Because I don't have a current woman of that culture in my life, and I need to fix that error. Okay, there used to be a neighbor of mine who was of Indian heritage. She has recently moved away, so I'm going to make sure that I find someone of that culture nearby. And then we have, and you do the same. Then we have so we do that with all our great and grandmothers, all their sister Kazinas. The Kazinas, they come through the stargates first, okay? And we open the stargates for them by revaluing as the whole time about how humanity would have had marvelous risen life if women had been equally making decision makers and the balance of love and work had existed. Okay, and then we have our current generations of women, and you know who you are. You get all the emails, and that's you. Those around age 38 and older. And you're pictured here. And then we have of all these different branch family names and many, many more. And then we have our younger people, females and males. Again, age 37 and younger. They're around, so you know it doesn't have to be perfect. And you know you've been receiving all these emails, and you know who you are. And so let's give you all big kisses. Right, and you know, I've been realizing something too. I've been focusing my emails on family, but I truly should have done more with the among the representatives larger email list, and I'm going to add that. So I'll start doing that right away. Another error I did. Fix that error. We all learn every day. Okay, then we have our big pictures of all of you, our big family branching tree that we want to show. And of course, we especially thank Sarah Harriet and Ray and Sarah Harriet for gathering us in virtuous place and heartland, and for very real on the ground. And remembering all the Native American women who came before on that land, and other people who were brought to that land as slaves in the area, and immigrants and so forth. Remembering all the people, and so and all the women, especially of all these groups. And so we say thank you as Harriet Ray. We include also Rose, Marie, Myrtle, and Pearl of Anne Marie and Patricia's family heritages. We include as Harriet Ray, Ray and Clara, as Harriet, Jacqueline. Jacqueline is with us. She's in this next level. We'll come to that. Shirley and Malka, and let's see, Precious Antoinette, that includes also Lillian, Adele, and Rose, and Lillian, Adele, and Rose, and Lee and Thelma. Also includes Beth Ann. Also includes Antoinette, Precious Antoinette, Chris and Rose, and Grandma Marie, Milk, Honey, and Water, Flowing Kindness, and Annette and Dorothy, learning all the lessons of the Wizard of Oz, and Lynn. Everything is all connected with Joan and Sharon and Diane, and Rachel with her sister Kazinas. We're going to find out more about that. Okay, and then we also have our current generations of women. Very extremely important. You're the most important piece of this puzzle, and you're the most failed. Okay, now I understand why you're failed. They targeted you. You've been mind programmed. You're idiots because you've been made into idiots, and you're acting like idiots. So let's help you to regain your goddesshood. You're very brilliant women on your own individually. It's just that your connection ability is like at imbecile level. So let's fix that. We want to include especially Marion and Victoria and Mariama. Oh, and up here in the upper generations, let me say Estrella and Victoria, Estrella and Libertia. Let's start right up there at the top, right at the beginning. Should mention them right away. Estrella and Libertia. And then here we have Victoria, Mariama, Marion, Julia, Marie, and I, and Nisa and Lynn, and we have Rachel, Alexandra, Juliana, and Francesca. We include Linda, other people from our, we'll get to that. We'll get to that a little bit later. We include Batcha, Helene, Sherry, Arlene, remembering Thelma and Lee and Lily and all of that group there. We include Sarah, remembering Beth Ann. We include Sarah, Susan, Jolene, and Laura, and we also include, of course, remembering Riz and Rose. We include Denise and Marcia, and all the Solomon people are connected to the Zalman, Zalkin. We include all the kins and kinds. There's different ones in our family that I haven't mentioned yet. We'll mention some of them others. We have already mentioned Jacqueline, she's here. And we also, and Betsy, and we also have included Giselle and other Feldmarian women, that, and Dorothy, of course, and then we also have Cheryl and Meredith and Andrea and many, many more. And we also have, so our Feldmarian women, we have Anne-Marie and her family's women, Martha, Anne-Marie, Patricia, Martha, Sophie, Laura, and Pauline. And we have the Winfrey family, Lee Winfrey family here, Patricia, Alicia, Krishnandra, and Oprah, and many, many more. We all have Brand McSkickle. We have, of course, Shuann here, and we have, let's include it to represent our Kaberia Gandhi. Let's include Sonia and Priyanka. Okay, they're here. Okay, and they're your family. Okay, I should have said that all along, and now I'm incorporating that. It's needed all along. And it shows I had a brain freeze there that needed coach. It has to do with the time difference. I have trouble calling into India because of the time difference. Okay, and now we have our younger people, equally important, very very endangered right now. So we want to give great, big, loving hugs to Hadass, Rachel Marie, Daniel, Juliet, Stacey, Anastasia, Soma, Vanessa, Talia, Juliet, Raquel, Juliet, Lynn, and Sharon, Halal, Ashira, Natalie, and Elisa, Halal and Ashira, Elisa, Natalie, and Elisa, and Hesperus and Athena, Rebecca and Sandra, Angeline, April, Edith, and Rosa, and Abby and Sarah. Oh, and I neglected to mention this upper generation here, Donna and Diana. Let's include them. And we have Abby and Sarah. And did I say Soma? Yes, I did. And there's more. There's more among the young women that I can even name that, but you get the idea. And we also include Aquarius. Then we have our young men, equally important. Yeshai, Han Lutviz. I call him Han Lutviz Wesley. And Ross, Jared, Marcel, Eric, Ben, Shannon, and John, and Andre, and Itani, and many, many more. Okay, and give all of you big kisses. And as soon as we do, then we can also mention the names of the older men. And then we also can mention the names of the older men. They are encouraging, they're standing and saying, get together, women and children, because they're holding us back from coming to the Stargates. We want to come through too as young men, but you have to bring forth our wives and our sisters and our cousins first, because we devalued them in our society. Our cultural system devalued them. So bring them back first. Time travel to their times in your mind. Think it, calculate what it was, and then we'll bring them through. You'll come, and we'll come through the Stargates too. More. And so now we'll give you all another big set of kisses. All right, and then we have our special branches of our family. Oh, and I neglected to mention Georgine. Georgine is in that middle group too. Georgine's very important. There's another woman there named Laura. There's others in that building, many, many more. There's Giodora. There's many, many more. Okay. And then we have my special branches there at Winston. Let's say have to be Winston instead of Lewiston. And we've got the people also there in New York. Let's have that be a Winston instead of Lewiston. And those in Coos Bay, let's have that be a Winston instead of Lewiston. And those in Ohio, let's be at Winston instead of Lewiston. Let's have Winstons everywhere. Winnings tons instead of losing tons. Okay? And so here's, we'll make the connections, and we'll give you, we have Victoria and Mariana, we have Julie Marie and I, we have Georgine, remembering, including Naomi and Jamie Lynn and others of her family. We have Vanessa Solly and Harlan Lives Wesley. Nearby is Stacey and Anastasia, Jamie and Robin, Andrea, Jamie and Robin. There's Alice, and there's other, Marguline, Feldmarian, and Silver Golden Canadian family. They're Anne Rita and Marilyn. There's connected with Michelle, Linda. There's whole bunches of people there. Mindy. There's many, many more whose names I don't even say, but there's more. Okay, and we want to include them all. Let's give everybody kisses, and all the therapists that we're going to see, we include them too, because we got to see therapists in each one of these cities and have a great big cry session about what we did to each other during this time, and then we'll do as they did on the Lucy Ministries. We'll make our pilgrimages to sacred homes and sacred places and anoint all of our places as sacred grounds. All right, but those people can't do anything without this larger tree. They're not going to go anywhere unless they are good. Now, nothing good's going to happen to them unless they connect with this, okay? And that's why we really need to find out Victoria and Mariana's true name and Vanessa's full surname, get the information and help re-include all of our young people back in connection, and our women. What is going on here? Let's fix it. So here's the big tree again. And I don't know if I said Carrie and Mary. Very, very important. Carrie and Mary, Mary and Carrie. You can tell from the name Mary that that's a little bit important. And then Carrie also is connected to the mind, because one Savior woman, the mother, is connected to the mother spirit necessary to come through to open the stargate. So they're connected. Carrie and Mary. All the big tree here. All right, and then we'll just do our quick, we'll start fresh with our bowl of fruits, the rainbow colors. It's really us represented. We have our white wrapped in gold chocolates. We have our fruits and vegetables here. We have our world globes in chocolate. We have everything we will say. We'll pick Parity Paradise, past, present, future, and we'll say we have enough of patriarchy. We have enough of patriarchal planeticide. We're going to pick Parity, past, present, future on this and all our planets. As equinox cues, solar, budding and blooming, and marvelous and miraculous, growing and gardening, equinox cues, solar, equinox cues, co-secretary general, co-secretary. All right, and that's our ceremony, except for this very important part, which we always say, of course, bring the child and you out forward, and know that you have a spoonful, that the New Millennial Rule is the spoonful of sugar to help the medicine go down. Let's say, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, all the blessings and all the greetings of all the heritage of our earth and earth, past, present, future, as equinox cues, co-secretary general, co-secretary, budding, blooming, gardening in solar power, love-powered, co-secretary general, co-secretary. And we'll say the same thing again this way. Let's say, with all the milk of human kindness, always. And let's say, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. The milk is the real spoonful of sugar that makes all the medicine go round. The holy milk and milk of human kindness. Let's say all the blessings and greetings of all the heritages of our earth and our earth, past, present, future, as solar, budding, blooming, marvelous, miraculous, growing and gardening always on this and all our planets. Co-secretary general, co-secretary. Equinox cues. All right, and then we're going to very quickly send this, because we want to very quickly make some quick calls to you, not very elaborate calls this time. We want to get you used to gathering, and there will be another message later today on 335547. Listen for that one too.
Please enter your PIN followed by the pound or hash. Thank you. To stop, for this session is no longer being recorded.